All right, hello and welcome to our Fit Essentials class. My name is Shauna. This is our intermediate level class. If you're using the B3 bands, we have them on, but we're going to be adding air a little bit later in the session. If you don't have the bands, don't worry about it. You don't need them. Just a little bit of weights for later in the session and a mat to be get down on the ground. So let's go ahead. We're going to come on up to standing to get started. And start some spinal cord breathing. So as you come to standing, go ahead and set the feet just underneath those hips. Check in with your toes. We're going to have all 10 toes pointing forward. And now we're going to check in with that midsection. So if you have a little bit of a sway in your back, tuck your hips under. Think about pulling your tailbone underneath. And then just establish a little mini bend in those knees. Fantastic. From here, we're going to draw the arms wide. Breathing in. Pull those elbows back. Try to lengthen through the collarbones. And then as you exhale, you're going to circle down, chin to the chest, pull those elbows in, bowing forward. So as you go to breathe back in, lifting the chest, eyes looking forward, draw those elbows back, keep the midline nice and strong, and then exhale, taking it down and in, keeping those hips tucked under. Just link it up to your own rhythm of breathing, about 4 seconds in. You can pause the top of that breath, and then nice smooth exhale. Send that air out. Let's take it through 1 or 2 more. Breathing in, standing tall. Try to engage those glutes. Fire the back of the body. Open through that chest. Down. Final time. Nice deep cleansing breath in. And final exhale. Great job. As you go to breathe back in, lower your arms to the side, maybe set your feet just a little bit wider. And now we're going to start to get into some tree branch arms, a little bit of rotation side to side, allowing the head and neck to turn as well. Make sure those shoulders stay down out of those ears and just try to flow here. Flowing side to side. Nice steady breath. Good. And then we're going to start to pick up that rhythm a little bit. Like let those elbows bend, start to tap the front and back of the torso. Look to try to time that tap with your exhale. Excellent. Starting to heat up the body a bit. Warming up that spine. Fantastic. Maybe just a little gentle smile as you move and breathe here. Couple more on each side. And then we're going to revert back to those tree branch arms. So back to arms away. Start to slow it down and then just practice to gradually bring yourself to a stop. Fantastic. Toe touch next. Walk those feet back in. All 10 toes pointing forward. Midline draws up and in. Chin to the chest. Just with a little baby bend in the knees. You're going to slide those hands down the legs. Reaching for those ankles, but never forcing. See where your bottom position is for the moment. Pause there for 2 breaths into the back of the body. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. On your next inhalation, push through those legs and make your way back up to standing. Wonderful. All right, we're going to move into a little bit of balance work next as we continue our warm up. If your balance is a little bit unsteady, I invite you to go stand near a wall, have a chair nearby, anything to help you stabilize. Otherwise, go ahead and plant your left leg down, lift everything up and in, draw those shoulders back. We're going to come up onto that one leg, and we're going to introduce our ankle circles, warming up through the foot and ankle. Trying to keep those hips nice and level. Good, shoulders out of the ears. And then when you're ready, twirl that ankle the other way. Fantastic. All right, set that foot down in between sides, a little side step arm swing. Cross the arms in front of each other, alternating which arm crosses over in front, and then rotate those palms forward, a little squeeze through the shoulder blades as they swing out. Very good. Waking it all up. Couple more, and then we'll get ready for those ankle circles on your left leg. Wonderful. All right, when you're ready, anchor your right foot down, set it down, lift everything up and in, squeeze the shoulders back, and then coming up onto that single leg ankle circles. If you want to get fancy here, you can also rotate through the wrist at the same time. Wonderful. Good, and then we're gonna rotate the other way. Ankle the other way, wrist the other way, hips level. Woo. Looks great. And rest, shake it out. Wonderful. Behind the back stretch is next. Walk the feet nice and wide. So well outside those hips. You wanna root down into your legs, draw the ribs down and in, and now we're gonna bring the arms behind. If you can't quite interlace those fingers, you can grab onto a towel, a t-shirt, a band. Long spine as you send the hips back, push those knees wide, lower the head down. And now let your head be a little heavy as you breathe into your back. Good, pulling strong through your legs. One more breath. On your next inhale, drive through the legs, make your way back up to standing. Fantastic. Inch the feet back in and quad stretch next. So coming back to your balance work, you're going to anchor down your right leg, lift it up and in, and let's reach for the ankle on the left. Good job. So we're looking to pull the heel towards the glute, driving it back, stomach in. Good. If anybody wants an extra challenge here, you can root down into your right leg, and you can bow it out, reaching it forward. Good. 10 more seconds. Keeping those hips level. Finding a spot to focus on. And 3, 2, 1, coming up from there. Great job. In between legs. Instead of side step arm swing, we're going to step a little bit higher like you got an imaginary obstacle and circle through the arm. So up and over. Good. Warm up those shoulders. As we call these moose overs, because our dog is long, he likes to lay right in the middle of the floor, right in the middle of the hallway. So we have to step up and over the dog. Good. Sometimes it's like in and out of the bathtub. Wonderful. One more time, over and back, and then we'll get ready for that quad stretch on your second leg. Shake out the arms. You're going to anchor down into your left leg. Lift up, and now we're going to be stretching your right quad. So we're mirroring each other. I am on my left, ribs down, pulling the heel towards the glute. Your balance is strong, and you want to add that forward reach. As my chest comes forward, my thigh goes up. That arm that's not holding the foot out. It's really nice, folks. 10 more seconds. Gripping the toes. Breathe. 2, 1. Make your way on up. Awesome. All right, almost through this warm up. We're gonna warm up the upper body a little bit more with a tricep stretch. So I have my feet outside those hips. Want to raise your right arm up in the air. Check in with the posture now. Chin in, bend that elbow like you're trying to scratch the back, pulling that elbow back. And if this is a tough position for you to hold your posture upright, just stay here and breathe. If you want to go deeper into that stretch, add the side body, bending away from the side you're stretching. Wonderful. Chin in and go in and out of that side bend. Coming back to the top, lengthen, and a nice gentle exhale as you bend to the side. Good. In through the nose. One more time if you're choosing that side bend. And release, shaking it out. All right, same thing on that other arm. So again, lengthen through your spine, standing tall. Now it's going to be on your left side. Bend the elbow, reach around, pulling back. Really nice, crew. And as you choose, long torso bending to the side, keeping your eyes up and forward. Awesome. Three times up and down into those side bends. And go ahead and shake it out. All right, let's warm up a little bit of squatting. And then we're gonna add some air. Those of you using the band. So set the feet about hip width apart, just a slight toe out. You could hold on to a back of a chair, a doorway here if it's hard for you to get down. Otherwise, we're gonna just really take our time, hips back, eyes up, pushing your knees wide. See how far you're comfortable to go without losing that engagement, and then drive down through the legs, pulling yourself up. Wonderful. We're going to go twice more. Breathing in, eyes up, chest up, sinking back. Really nice position, folks. There you go. Sitting back into those heels and all the way up. Good. One more time. Diane, if you can turn your screen down a little bit, it's hard for me to see much more than the top of your head. Yeah. Doing great. Good, Amy. There you go, Kathy. Wonderful. And stand. All right, friends. If you do have the air, go ahead, or the bands, go ahead and add air now. Those of you that maybe aren't using the band, just grab a little drink. You're welcome to march in place a little bit. If any of those stretches that we did felt particularly good or like your body needed them, you're always welcome to go ahead and repeat a couple stretches. We're going to be doing some squats this morning. And we're going to be doing some overhead press or reach. If you haven't done a lot of training in a while, I recommend keeping it mostly unweighted today. And then we're going to be working on some good mornings and some single leg work on the lunges. Our last exercise of the series, we will be coming down for a forearm plank. Alrighty. About 20 to 30 seconds on each exercise. We're going to be going through it 3 times. Again, if you're like me, I haven't done a whole lot of this, just hold back a little bit. Don't go super fast. Less is more, especially when we're getting back into or starting a movement program. You do want to have some light weights around. I'm going to use some weights on the overhead press. We're going to be doing alternating arms on that first round, but just have them nearby. We're going to start with the squats here in about 10 seconds. All right. So just like we warmed up, I'm going to have just a little bit of a toe out, eyes up and forward. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and begin. Breathing in as you pull yourself back and down, breathing out as you stand. Squeeze the glutes. Good. I'm going to tell you when we get to 20 seconds, and I'm going to be working with you for 30. So up to you. You might want to pause at the 20. Just hang tight. Or if you want to move all the way through the 30, you can. There's our 20-second mark. In as you sit back and up. 3, 2, 1. There's our 30. Excellent. If you'd like to pick up some light weights, or you can just reach up to overhead. Walk the feet in on this one. Toes forward, ribs down and in. Hands up to the side. Either make a fist or holding some light weights. And then when you're ready, we're going to reach one arm up and then the other, trying to open through those shoulders. If you don't have weights in your hand and you want to add a little bit of a side bend to it as you reach, that's fine. Try to squeeze the glutes. And remember not to let those ribs flare out. Very nice. That's 20 seconds. Good. Keep engaging the back of the body. And 3, 2, 1, and pause. Fantastic. Go ahead and set your weights down if you are using them. Next is our good morning. So you're going to walk the feet, toes forward, underneath the hips, midline nice and strong. You can either cross the arms over the shoulders, or I'm going to go ahead and go behind the head. So hands behind the head with a small bend in the knees, the belly drawn in. I'm going to bow at the hips, practicing that long spine. And then squeeze the tush as you stand tall. Yes, there you go. Sending those hips back, chin in, looking down towards the ground as you bow forward. And then we want to practice standing all the way up. Whenever we see people walking around town with really poor posture, I always think, I wish those folks would do some good mornings. So we want to wake up the back of that body, pull those shoulders back, stack them all the way over the hips, and then long spine as you bow down. Good. Think about another 10 seconds here, just practicing that bowing motion. Fantastic. And Amy, if you turn sideways to the screen, just want to make sure, yeah. And after you finish that rep, go ahead and rest. Awesome. Single leg work next. So this will be a little bit of balance as well as some strength work. Call it our lunge stance. So check in with those toes. You're going to start with your left leg forward. Take a nice long step forward. And I want you to keep those feet hip width apart. So it's not like you're on a balance beam, feet wide. Good. From here, it's up to you. How far down you go, the harder it's going to be. So make sure that front shin is vertical. There you go. Eyes up and forward, palms rotate forward. And then we're just breathing here. 10 seconds in. Fantastic. Keep holding strong. Yeah, great position. I can't see the knee on some of you, so make sure it's staying back. Almost there. You're just holding nice and solid. 2, 1, and making your way on up. Good job. Walking that back leg in between legs. Let's loosen up those hips a little bit with some hip circles. Nice work. 3 to 5 times, and then take it the other way. Now this lunge stance should not be painful in your knee. You should ideally feel it in the muscles as the time goes on. But if you are having any discomfort on the knee of the front leg, those of you that are here live, come on off. Let me know. I'm happy to help you. And we're going to make our way. Now it would be your right leg forward. Remember, feet hip width apart. Starting to make your way down into that little bit of a lunge, and 30 seconds starts now. Good. That's right. It is a great day for a workout. Thanks. You too. Yeah, we're on Zoom here. Halfway, folks. That's 15 seconds. Sharon, watch that knee doesn't go too far forward. Keeping that heel pushing down. Wonderful. That's our 20-second mark. So Sharon, right now we're just holding stationary. There you go. And 2, 1, and rest. Coming on forward. Good job. Making your way down to the floor. Forearm plank. So you're going to go palms down on the forearms. Set the feet about hip width apart. And here we go. Chin in, looking forward. Round 1, we're just going to hold a traditional plank for 30 seconds. On the later rounds, I'll give the option to add some hip extension through the legs. Nice job. Belly drawn in. That's 15 seconds. We're over halfway. Breathing. Really good body position. I can't see all of you, but those that I can, it looks solid. 2, 1, and everybody rest. Let's take it back into a child stretch just briefly. Toes together, knees divide, rock those hips back, lower the head down. 3 nice big breaths. Trying to expand the sides of the rib cage. Keep that oxygen. And the exhale, lower your chest towards the floor. Nice deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Awesome. Last time. Beautiful. Coming up onto the hands, making your way into down dog. And then we're going to walk our feet back up. It's not to spend a long time in down dog, just a brief moment there. And when you're ready, inchworm your way back up to standing. If your water's nearby, let's grab a drink. We've got 40 seconds before we start round 2. Any questions? Good job. So depending on how that felt on round 1, what you've been doing recently, if you want to hold weights for your squats on round 2, if you want to add a little bit of weight to the overhead work, you can even go both arms at once if you don't tend to get really sore in that upper body. Squats first, starting in 15 seconds. All right, I'm just going to go lightweight. I'm going to hold it right up underneath the chin. Slight toe out on these squats. 2, 1, and begin. Breathing in as you sit back. Breathing out as you stand. And again, here's where you can scale it to your recent level of activity. You can pause the top, kind of slow yourself down, working on that full range of motion. Beautiful. That's 20 seconds if you're pausing there. And 2, 1, there's our 30. Nice job. Overhead reach or overhead press next. Either make a fist or hold some light weights. Toes pointing forward. All righty. 2, 1, here we go. Up and reach. If you want to add a little bit more leg drive, you can add a little dip and drive, little quarter squat. Breathing in, breathing out. Awesome. Maybe just a little smile as you move here. Watch that self-talk. Try to encourage yourself as you move. Wonderful. 5 seconds to go. Even out each side and rest. Fantastic. Back to that good morning. If you want to stick with the light weight, it's going to require some upper body mobility, but you can bring that light weight either behind the head or you can hold it underneath the chin. That would require less shoulder mobility if you hold it underneath your chin. Toes forward, stomach in. And then when you're ready, we're going to go into that long spine. Squeeze the tush as you stand up. Wonderful. Breathing in as you hinge over. Awesome. And again, we don't want to feel any kind of pain in the low back. If you are overextending or if you are having pain in the low back, you may not have that neutral pelvis. So make sure you keep the hips tucked in. Long spine. Yeah. 5 seconds to go. One more time. Hinging over. And then standing all the way up. Squeeze the tush. And bring that weight down if you are using one. Awesome. Getting ready for our lunge stance. Left leg forward. I'm going to keep these unweighted, and we're going to have the option to progress it on this round if you want to do what we call a lunge pulse and kind of lowering the knee up and down. If the hold is hard for you, stick with just that stance and just holding. All righty, so just a little bend in that front knee, heel planted, and we're into that 30 seconds. So as I was saying, if you'd like to pulse, as long as there's no pain in the knee, keeping that front heel planted, you can lower that back knee down, and then ensure you're feeling yourself drive out of that front foot. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out if you're coming up and down. Good. Almost there. Beautiful. And take a pause. Good job. Walking that back leg in. We're going to go not so much our circles, but just imagine trying to trace a figure 8 here. Either hold the hands on the hips or you can just flow. Good. Great time to smile again. Wonderful. Love it, Sharon. Just flow it in the wind. All right. Let's get ready for that lunge stance or lunge pulse. Now it will be your right leg forward. Remember, it's key to keep the feet hip width apart. Rooting down, eyes up. 30 seconds starts now. So either holding or choosing that pulse, lowering the knee down, smooth the rise up. Good job. So that front shin vertical. We don't want that knee shooting forward. Good. Those that I can see look really strong. Lightly touch. Breathing in. Breathing out. Maybe one more time. And rest. Awesome. All right, making your way back down. Round 2 of our forearm plank. If you felt strong in that 30 seconds, you can add a little bit of difficulty with the hip extension. Set the feet. And for the hip extension, you're focusing on neutral hips. And we'll just lift this leg up just barely. Good. If you're doing the leg lifts, go ahead and switch legs. Same thing on that second leg. Ensure you don't lose that neutral spine position. Keep breathing. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and everybody rest. Awesome work. All righty. We're going to take just under a minute break. However you want to make your way back up. If this is a lot more than you've done in a while, maybe just hang out during our last round. March a little bit, stretch a little bit. If you're feeling good, we're going to get started with our last round on this circuit here in 30 seconds. Nice job, folks. All right, squats will be first. Either sticking with that body weight work, or if you want to add a little bit more weight, I'm going to hold one in each hand this time. All right, feet outside, just outside the hips, slight toe out, beginning in 2, 1, and round 3. Good. either steady state or slow state. Once again, less is more. I want you to get in and out of the chair tomorrow without a whole lot of discomfort. You want to feel like you can come back on the second day later this week. Good job. We're over 20 seconds in. Sorry, I forgot to give you that cue. Almost to our 30. And there's our time. Fantastic. Alrighty, short break. Overhead presses next. Feet in, toes forward. Up to you if you want to add that dip and drive. Ready and go. So alternating sides. If you want more work here, you can add the legs, and you can even do both arms together if you want more of that challenge. Once again, if you tend to get stiff in your upper neck or shoulders, then you can reduce the tension by going one arm at a time. 10 seconds left. A little bit of variety, never hurt anyone. Just keeping that upper body open. And everybody rest. Awesome. Good mornings are next. So really key on this good morning, neutral midline, no arching, ribs in, tailbone tucked under. You can hold that weight under the chin or behind the head. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Over and up. And if you happen to be really flexible in your hamstrings, I don't want you to go beyond about parallel to the ground. Either bow forward till you feel that tension in the hamstrings, or until you get to be about parallel to the floor. Remember to stand all the way up at the top. Squeeze the back of the body, looking straight ahead. Fantastic. 10 seconds to go. There you go. Nice, Diane. Looks great, Sharon. Really smooth, Kathy. Last one, friends. And rest. Whew. All right, lunge stance. Left leg forward. If you want to add a little extra challenge, we can either with weights or without weights do a little bicep curl as we lunge. So it's going to be your left foot forward, right foot back, shoulders back and down. So either if you're holding the stance, you can curl as you hold. Here we go. If you're pulsing, curl in as you lower down, extend as you stand tall. Good. Eyes up and forward. Wonderful. That's our halfway point. Front heel planted. If it ever starts to feel too much, just stay in the top of the lunge and finish it out. 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Walking the feet in, just a little hip rock side to side, short break. If you're holding weights, you can hang on to them. Good. And finishing out this second leg. Right foot forward, left foot back. Eyes up, shoulders back. Starting in 5. Ready, and here we go. So either pulsing or holding, you're curling on the down. And you just want to be, a little conservative about how much complexity you add to the movement. If you feel unfamiliar with the lunge, like your brain is still learning that balance point, then I wouldn't worry about adding the upper body. Many of you have been coming here for a while. I know you're familiar with these movements. Good, final time. And there's our rest. Beautiful, finishing it out on the forearms. Forearm plank. Make your way on down. 3, 2, 1, and go. Stomach drawn in. Option to add a little hip lift. Straight leg, toe pointing down. Just lifting it up and down. Keep breathing. You're doing that leg lift. Go and switch sides. Same thing on that second side. Squeeze the tush. Really key to stabilize through that mid body. Very good. There's our 30 seconds. You're welcome to come out of it pause on those leg lifts. And if you want to keep holding here, will give us upwards of a full minute. Good. If you want to jump back in at any point, you can. That's 45 seconds. Eyes forward. Make sure we don't let that low back arch. Breathing and holding. And 2, 1. There's our minute. Woo! All righty, let's drop it back into that child stretch. Bring your big toes together. Walk your knees nice and wide. And we're gonna give our arms that break. Lower that head down and breathe. Fantastic. All right, let's open up the inner thighs. So you're gonna come back to all fours. Start with your left leg. You're gonna extend it straight out to the side, sole the foot down towards the ground, and then we're gonna rock the hips back. So I breathe in as I come forward, and then I breathe out as I rock back, trying to grip that foot down of the extended leg. 3 to 5 times. Relax that head as well. One more time, and then let's switch sides. Nice. Same thing on the second side. Those of you wearing the band, after we stretch out this opposite inner thigh, we're going to let the air out or take the bands off. Breathing in, coming forward, breathing out, rocking back. Chin in, head down. Grip the toes, grip the sole of that foot down on that extended leg. But once you finish there, go ahead and rest. All right, grab some water. Go ahead and let the air out. That's our 20-minute mark on that banded session. Ready. And we're gonna have a good, nice cool down stretch here to finish. So keep your mat around. Talked about some side planks earlier in the session, but it took us a little longer today. That's okay. All righty. So either you can lie on your side and stretch your quads, or if you want to join me, I'm going to start the first part from standing, and then we'll make our way back down to the ground. But if you do want to give a break from your balance, you can come onto the side and stretch the quad just like so. Otherwise, it is good to practice that balance once you're a little bit more fatigued. So either side lying or standing, grab a foot, pulling it back. You can add that forward reach if you'd like. Another 15 seconds to go on this side, stretching. Watch that the hips don't rotate away if you're going to that forward reach. The side you're stretching is usually the side that will lift up. Good, and rest. Shake it out. Same thing on that opposite side. Lift up. Back. There you go. Halfway through. Option to add that extra challenge. 10 seconds left. Sometimes just getting our foot is the challenge on this one. And shake it out. Beautiful. All righty. Let's make our way back down. So if you're already down there, we're going to come into down dog. So making your way down on the floor, spread your hands, like spread out those fingers nice and wide, feet about hip width apart. And we're going to start with just a nice gentle pulse, rocking forward onto the hands, looking back through those hands, chin to the chest. Think about looking right through your thighs and trying to guide your heart towards your thighs. Breathing in as you rock forward, just gently breathing out. Lengthen the back of that body. One more time, rocking it forward, rocking it back, and now add that heel pedal. Stretch out those lower legs, stretching out those calves. How good does that feel? Wonderful. When you've had enough of that, coming down to hands and knees. And now we'll move into some cat-cows. Breathing in, lifting up chin to the chest. And a nice gentle exhale. Shoulders back and down, eyes up and forward. Good. Deep breath in, lengthen, lift. Smooth breath out. Lower your belly button towards the ground without overarching that spine. Nice. Twice more. Last one. Fantastic. All right, go ahead and take it onto your back. We're going to open up the hips, glute stretch, and figure 4. All right, so as you lie back, draw your shoulders underneath you. You're going to extend your right leg and start by interlacing the hands in front of the knee. Let the head rest back. And we're going to begin by pulling that left knee towards that left shoulder as you actively drive the right thigh down. So feel an opening in that inner thigh a bit. You can go ahead and circle through that left ankle. And then circle the other way. Wonderful. When you're ready, we're going to take this left leg, you can move the hands to the outer knee, and then we're going to start to pull it across the body towards that right shoulder. You can take that left arm if you'd like and kind of put that elbow out to the side, like open the arm to about a 90-degree position. Get some length through the chest at the same time. Very good. Let's switch sides. Extend the left leg. Same idea on the right, starting by pulling the right knee towards the right shoulder, actively driving down that left thigh. Good. Little length through the quads and inner thighs, not quads, more the groin area. Rotate the ankle as you choose. Good. Turn it the other way. Super. And now start to move, bringing that right leg towards that left side of the body. And then if you'd like, you can take your left arm out to about 90 degrees. You can turn that head and neck. Just a very gentle twist. When you're ready, go ahead and release. All right, if you glute bridges, open up the front of the hips, knees bent, feet flat. Reposition those shoulders as needed. And then between 5 and 10 here, not trying to force anything. Lengthen through that lower back as you raise the hips up. Squeeze that booty. Very nice. Just moving through at your own tempo. Great time to try to engage all the smaller muscles of your pelvic floor as well. You're trying to, you're like, oh, I was going to the restroom and now I need to pause there. Good. 1 or 2 more, friends. Breathing in, breathing out. And when you're ready, rest down there. Alrighty. Walk the feet just a little bit wider. Keep those knees bent. Bring your arms back out to the sides like scarecrow arms. And now we're going to windshield wiper the legs a little bit, dropping both knees to one side, back to center, and then take them the other way. No forcing. Just some nice gentle external rotation and internal rotation. Balance yourself out side to side. And then our second to last stretch is going to be our figure 4. So let's start with your left foot. You're going to bring it onto your right thigh, and then we'll lift the legs off the ground, reach the left hand between the legs, other hand on the outside. And then just hug the legs in. Take the foot on the left side and draw the foot and toes back towards the left knee. Feel that outer left hip open a little bit more. Make sure that the head's resting back, and then just breathe here. You know that sciatic nerve floss, or if you want to add in a little bit for the right leg, you can extend that right leg straight up towards the sky. Toes drawn towards your face at first. Then you're going to point the foot and toes. Draw the foot and toes back towards your face, and then bend the knee down and in. Revisiting that figure 4. Once or twice more, extend, point, back, and down. Ants have found me. Yeah, moose. And release. All right, friend, let's get ready for figure 4 on that second side. Cross the right foot over the left. Hug the leg in. Draw the foot and toes of that right foot back towards the right knee. Put the headrest back unless you're trying to kill some ants that are crawling on me. The joys of being outside, or the challenges. If you want to add that sciatic nerve floss, left leg, extend the leg, toes towards your face, point towards the sky. Pull them back towards your face as you bend that knee down and in. Wonderful. Twice more. Up, point, back, down. Good. Blended. All righty, making your way out of that figure 4. A little happy baby. And then our stretch Armstrong to finish. So if you can grab the outer shins or the outer part of the feet, elbows on the inside of the thighs, a little gentle rock side to side. So we're both opening the inner thighs and the groin area, as well as giving a little massage that low back. Good. And once all that starts to loosen up, release the legs. And now our stretch Armstrong, if you remember the doll that was back in the 80s or 90s, just stretch nice and long. I want you to flatten your legs out, reach the arms up to overhead. Breathe and just lengthen. Like you're waking up first thing in the morning. And then when you finish there, I invite you to bring one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your heart, and then just practice being still here, being flat. Feel the beating of your heart, feel the breathing of your lungs. I invite you to let the eyes rest closed. As much as it's important to move our body, it's also important to rest our body. So I invite you to take time, not just to move each day, but to be still. Fill your body with emotions that bring you peace, gratitude, and send out lots of love. All right, everybody, great to be back moving with you again. Remember to stay hydrated and look forward to moving with you next time.